Heather from Here Booktubes, and today is Reverse Harem Romance Recommendations. I kind of thought that I could not be into this trope. Turns out I really can. This is a great subgenre that I really enjoy. It can be hard to find good ones, and I hope that this gives you a good place to start if you haven't tried it out before, or some recommendations that maybe you haven't stumbled across on your own if you are a fan of the subgenre. Also, I have to give a shout out to Melissa from She Is an Open Book for this video because she was one of the first people I ever saw to talk about reverse harem. I had read one or two before that, but she gave me some great recommendations. I love her channel, and if you like reverse harem and have not already subscribed and started watching her, please do, because I promise you her recommendations are fantastic. Speaking of Melissa, she is the one who gave me the recommendations for the very first one, and that is For Psychos, which is The Dark Side #1 by Kristy Cunning. I wanted to read this. It's a paranormal reverse harem, and I was like, it sounds so good, but it also seems so creepy, and I'm not ready to be depressed. Turns out it's a rom-com. It's hilarious. It did annoy me a little bit because the guys do take forever to treat her right, but then they do end up treating her fantastically. So just know that you will get that. And it's 4 books. They're not standalones. It's so good. So our main character doesn't know who she is, doesn't know what she is. She just knows that she is only in existence around these 4 guys. And that's where it starts. Every single book, it gets bigger and more dramatic, and we get to know more things, and it's hilarious, like really funny. So you should definitely check it out if you like paranormal, reverse harem, and to laugh. Next is Resurrection, which is the first in the Sainthood by Siobhan Davis. This is also not a standalone. It's a trilogy. The 3rd one comes out at the very beginning of July, so you can go ahead and read it now and be ready for when that 3rd book comes out. This is high school, bully, dramatic. We have gang, we have past trauma, lots of triggers to be aware of. Everything in this is over the top and dramatic. Harlow is our main character, and it starts out with her dad dying, and she goes to this party and hooks up with these 4 guys. She knows who they are, yada yada, doesn't expect to see them again, goes the whole summer without seeing them again, and then the first day of her senior year of high school, the 4 guys walk in. They've all transferred because they are taking over the high school for their junior gang. So the gangs have senior members, and then if you're in high school, you're a junior member, and these guys are the head of the junior chapter for their gang. And she is trying to dismantle them. They have their own agenda and orders, and it's completely ridiculous, over the top. Each one is just crazy, and I can't wait for the 3rd one because I really want to find out what happens. Next I have Nightfall, which is first in the Tangled Crowns by Denton. This is also not a standalone, but you can kind of read it as a standalone and still be satisfied with the way that the story ends. You can see the obvious setup for the next book, but it's kind of up to you if you feel the need to pick that up right away or want to wait. First of all, for this book, do not be turned off by the name Princess Bloss, because that maybe isn't a great choice, but that's what we have here. But the story is still worth reading. So this is a fantasy reverse harem, and in this world there are more men than women, so having 4 men to 1 woman as a family unit is normal. This is about the crown princess who ran away. She finds out a threat against her younger sister, who is now the acting crown princess. So she goes back to the palace to take care of her and has to face the 4 men that she jilted at the altar. This is another one where they take a little while to be nice to her, but you do get there in this first book. It's really cool. It's a fantasy world. The magic system is really interesting because you have a price to pay for any magic that you use. Her price is hidden from the general public. It's the main reason why she ran away years ago. Alright, sorry if things are a little bit different. I had to go get my kids set up with a cartoon. Next we have Queen Takes Night, which is the first in their Vampire Queen series by Jolie Sue Burkhart. This is very smutty, very quick paced, lots of sex. There is male, 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 female, male, female, male, female, female. There's lots of different things in the whole series. I'm not sure exactly which scenes end up in the first book, but there's lots of vampire sex, and by vampire sex I mean there's lots of blood involved in the sex. So be aware of that. If that's a major turnoff for you, then the series is not you. If you're like, I'm not into blood play, but if I were a vampire, I probably would be, then maybe check it out. So she's a lost virgin vampire queen, and she's found by her knights at the very beginning. There's all sorts of things that she didn't know. The plot gets bigger and bigger. In this reverse harem, she holds all the power, so all the men are really good to her. They will do anything that she wants, and she makes all of the decisions. So there's that for you. And lastly, we have Baby in the Late Night Howlers by Kathryn Moon. I just read this book in June, so it's the most recent one for me, and I loved it. It's an Omega-verse. Omega-verse is Alpha, Beta, and Omega. Alphas run the world, Betas are workers, and Omegas are breeders. They are either really valued and treated well, really valued and not treated well, or they're basically worthless with no rights, but are important as breeders. So it really depends on who's writing the universe, what you're going to get. This one, the Omega, is treated extremely well, and I was so happy to see that. There is male male and male female in this. This is an Omega-verse with a motorcycle club. Our Omega, whose name is Baby, she's nice to the other women in the book. The other women in the book are nice to her, which is always so refreshing to see. She's not trying to make decisions for anybody, but she's also not letting them make the decisions for her. So it's a really kind of healthy balance and give and take in this book, which is extremely hard to find in Omega-verse if you've read any. This book deals with consent, and it does it really well because it does kind of tackle the, was that bad? Like, I don't know, and it's falling on the side of, yes, you don't want it, you weren't actively seeking it, you know, coming doesn't make it better. So there is a slight trigger for that. It's not rape or anything like that. It is tackling consent. I just really love this book. It's a standalone. It was fun to see the relationships. The plot was fairly interesting. I did kind of guess where we were going. But if you like Motorcycle Club, Omega-verse, Reverse Harem, Paranormals, they're kind of like shifters, but I don't know if they ever shifted. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just read it too. I don't know. But it's really good. I loved it. I was surprised at how much I loved it. I immediately picked up other books by the author. Yeah, it was fantastic. So these are reverse harems that I recommend. I hope that you get some books to read. If you've read all these, let me know what you thought of them. And let me know what you think of reverse harem in general and if you're familiar with it or not. I just find it to be a great palate cleanser. It's something a little bit different from all the other ones that I'm reading. When you read exclusively romance, basically, it can be nice to just jump here or there as a palate cleanser, and this is definitely one of my go-tos when I'm kind of like, I need something. I hope you stick around for more romance recommendations again in a few days. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye.